Prepare to have your mind fucked. This ain't what the fuck you think it is. You feel what I'm saying? Bro, I hate when people come to me talking about fucking emotions and shit, or I get on the internet, I get the privilege of seeing all these spiritual people and all these religious people and all these scholarly motherfuckers and all these teachers, and just everybody on the internet has something to say and has a hot take that they want to give. And usually a lot of that shit is wrapped around emotions or how the human mind works or human psychology in some aspects. And me personally, I don't really be believing none of it. I'm not big on beliefs or disbeliefs, but when I say I don't be believing none of it, like, I'm actually overwhelmed with the shit in an extremely dramatic way, to the point to where every time I hear somebody getting ready to talk about the human body, it's almost, I've heard so much over the years that I get an instant, oh brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, it starts to fucking bother me, bro. Because in one instance, you'll have a person saying, like, you know, your emotions, happy, anger, all of these things, they're just fucking, they're virtues. Like, you should hold on to these motherfuckers as if they're like the fucking epitome of life. But that doesn't make sense to me, because I'm like, I mean, what the fuck does that even mean? My emotions and my mind are just an aspect of my body, and my body is just stuff. I inhabit my body. So what the fuck are we really talking about? My body, aka my emotions and mind, ain't no fucking important or less important than an atom or a rock or a gold atom, an oxygen atom. So I'm like, what the fuck? You got people that put virtues on that shit and make it way more than what it is. And then you got people that look down on it and they like, oh, fuck your emotions. They mean nothing in no capacity. And I'm just like, I don't understand what the fuck we really talking about. So I kind of don't be wanting to hear what nobody has to say. Because like, for me, the current understanding around emotions like anger and happy is really like, you have to regulate yourself in tandem with the world. You know, things happen out here, so therefore X, Y, and Z happens in here. And I ain't never got down with that shit either, because when I look at it for myself, instead of looking at how people taught me how the mind and emotions work, when I look at it for myself and realize, oh, okay, so they say being broke equals this feeling, being rich equals this feeling, losing your friend equals this feeling. Everybody telling me what outside circumstances equal what feelings in here. But when I ran and did a test myself, like when I was actually fucking broke as hell, and I said, oh shit, this is when people say you usually get fucked up on the inside, or you be mad, or all that shit. I assessed my life, recognized that I was broke as fuck. I had to make sure I was in that shit first. Once I realized I was in that shit, I sat back in my chair and was like, now let me see for myself what it's like to experience being broke. So I sat back, broke as hell, after realizing I was broke. I sat back and was like, I'm now experiencing being broke. In 3, 2, 1. And you know, when I did that, I recognized that there was no like objective fucking anger in me. There was no objective happy. There was no objective sad or stress or none of that shit. How I was inside was just how the fuck I was. See, in that moment, I recognized, damn, I could be happy right now. You know what I'm saying? I could be, or I could be mad, or I could be sad. So it's not that being broke just fucking means that everybody that goes broke objectively feels fucked up. That's an unconscious response to the circumstance, because that's how they've been conditioned and taught to respond to it. They never actually saw that they had an option. They're just automatons, robots. You feel what I'm saying? And I ain't never fucked with none of that. Like, I ain't never fucked with none of those conceptualizations of human experience and the mind. You feel me? Because when it comes to me, how that shit works is, you know, it's independent, meaning that my experience in here can go a plethora of ways independent of what the fuck's happening. That's why you have people living in war zones that are smiling more than people that are living in not fucking war zones. Or you have people that are living in America that are fucking frowning and devastated within themselves more than a motherfucker that's living on a legit battlefield. You know why the person who's at war, there's a possibility of this person being happy, and the person who is not at war, there's a possibility of them still being miserable inside? Because human experience is not a democracy, and it's also not interconnected objectively to the world around you. That is why you could be rich and be fucking happy, or be ready to click in this bitch. Or you could live in a fucking battlefield and be more joyful than a motherfucker that's living on a farm. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't think we understand human emotions and the mind as a collective on that profound of a level. I think that realization is pretty much lost upon the whole fucking, world. So there's another reason why when people get to talking about life and emotions and the world and all of that shit, almost damn near anything, I find it hard for me to like care, because they start going down these paths of unconscious reaction or beliefs, and there is no speak from experience, you feel what I'm saying, or an experience that goes beyond what you can see, touch, taste, smell, hear, feel, what the fuck you believe, what somebody told you, all of that shit. There's no it's not a living experience. It's just secondhand information that you might find comfort in, but that don't make it right, you see what I'm saying? Or you'll get super spiritual motherfuckers with crystals and talking about crystals and shit, and these people tend to portray this idea of that they're like the most spiritual motherfuckers in the whole world, and they talk that shit. They even talk that shit with a little bit of like, what's that shit where you talk like you looking over a motherfucker? Like you have motherfuckers that'll be rude as hell. They're just as fucking unconsciously angry or angry as you or the next motherfucker. They're just as mad and irritated and all of that shit as the same NPCs that they critique. You know what I'm saying? And these people tend to be very fucking rude behind the screen, behind the camera. Like their experience of life is no more profound or wise than the next motherfucker. For example, if you take that fucking therapist that's talking that shit, that spiritual person that's talking that shit, that religious person that's talking that shit, that fucking that yoga bitch in California that's talking that shit. If you really take all the people that's talking that shit, I ain't talking about walking, I'm talking about the people that's talking that shit, and you really put them through a fucking test to test their intelligence, the rich motherfucker, the poor motherfucker, it doesn't matter. Most of them are gonna fail. And when I say a test, let's talk about this type of test. I'm talking about a test that gauges your ability to consciously operate independent of the world. Okay, walk up to any of those people and disrespect a dead family member that they have. That's a random. I don't even know if that's a work. I don't know if that's true. But just you hearing me say that shit, we can both agree without even knowing who we're talking about, without even knowing the individual that we're running up on, 9 times out of 10, that person is about to, whatever they were feeling in here is gone. It's gonna change because they're not conscious enough to be able to maintain how they are within themselves independent of the world. How they are in here still changes just as rapidly as the fucking world. So you could be walking down the street, that motherfucker, that spiritual bitch, that scholar, that smart ass motherfucker, that dumb ass person, all these people that talk that shit, you could walk up to any one of them, take a wild fucking guess. I don't even know if you have dead family members, but I could just take a fucking guess and say, fuck your dead whoever. Bro, whatever you was feeling in here, it's gone. You're not happy no more. You're irritated, or you're fighting to stay happy, or you're mad. The motherfuckers, that's gonna gauge it. The motherfucker who's the most unfazed, the motherfucker who is the most balanced, the person who displays the most intelligence by showing that how they are within themselves is not moved, or is moved the least by the world around him, that's the most free person. That's the one that's the most fucking free, the one that's the most, whatever you, tapped in, woke, whatever you want to call it. And when you gauge it like that, when you use that as the fucking bar or a gauge, you realize that most of the people yapping that shit ain't living like that. One failed job interview, one heartbreak, one cuss word, one racist motherfucker, one, I ain't even talking about nobody putting hands on you, just one little change in life around them and that shit's gone. Even them spiritual motherfuckers will be talking about some, man, look, I almost forgot everything I knew for a minute cause a dude said something to me. What the fuck? That mean how you really, that shit you was talking is not an experience. You ain't really spiritual like that. You spiritual in your mindset and in your belief systems. You ain't spiritual in your experience. You're not living like that. You just think like that and believe that shit. Cause the only reason you believe shit is because you don't know it. Because to know it, you have to experience it. So because it's not an experience, that's not how you're living. You only believe the shit and it's a mindset. So of course that shit's fickle than a motherfucker. All it takes is a random motherfucker like me to walk in Walmart one day and say, fuck your kids. And you through. You through all that fucking spiritual shit, all that religious shit, all them books, all that therapy, man, that shit's gone. And that's for most people. That's why when most people get to talking about that shit, anger and emotions, I don't really be feeling that shit, because I feel like if I put you if I really put you to the test without telling you that I'm doing that, I might get punched in the face, but it's gonna prove my point that you just talking. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes to me about anger and emotions, bro, I recognize that the reason why I live like that and I really don't get angry, not because I can't get angry, and if I do, I recognize it as an unconscious response, not a fucking virtue, not some shit I have to act out, but I recognize it as growing up in a fucking society with the people I just described as parents, friends, family. That memory is ingrained in the fucking genetics of my body. I have to work it out. That's why it's like trying to stop smoking. When you stop smoking, you good. But if you normally smoke at 2 p.m. in the daytime, and then this your first day stopping, and then when 2 p.m. comes, you feel your body, you feel the urge in your body to go smoke. You can feel it. You can legit feel it. That's the karma. That's the memory requesting that it works itself out. But you can do karma yoga and transcend that memory. That's why motherfuckers can go through withdrawals and still sit there. That's why motherfuckers can want a burger but still sit there. That's why motherfuckers who going through celibacy, they can want to fuck, but they can sit there through the memory as it manifests itself as desire in your body. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same shit. I recognize that shit. Growing up and being unconsciously taught how to operate my emotions, when certain things happens, it happens. Like my girl might do some shit, and the natural response of my body, my hands might start trembling, or my heart might start beating, and the sensation of irritation might manifest within myself. But I'm able to consciously see that as not objective to the thing she did. Not you made me feel this way, but oh shit, this, damn it, is still there. So even when my body is trembling and my heart's beating and I'm a little irritated because something just happened, I don't respond to it like that. I don't even think about it like that. I see it and say, damn. I look at my girl and be like, damn, I'm irritated as fuck. But not in a sense of like, I'm mad at you or something. She know what I mean. She know what I'm saying is that, damn, that memory is working out in my body. Like my body is going through the motions of irritated as fuck. But consciously, I sit here, I remain here and work that shit out. I consciously stay how I want to be, which is, oh shit, I want to be happy. This is how I want to be. Why? Because anger, stress, worry, that shit kills you. And I know that. So because I don't want to unconsciously destroy myself, because this is just all my body knows because of where I grew up, how I was raised, where I was born, and all of that type of shit, I have to work it out. But most people ain't doing that. Most people just looking at it like it's a fucking virtue, like you are less of a human if you live your life without getting mad a certain amount of times. If you live your life without getting angry or upset or worrying or stressing about shit a certain amount of times, you're less than human, or it is inherently human to do these things. Bro, it's no more human to do that than it is to fucking wrecking your car to be considered a good fucking driver. Being a driver don't mean shit. It don't mean you stay in the road. It don't mean you run off the road. It mean you driving that motherfucker. Now how you drive that motherfucker is on you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no fucking ill will towards being angry or being sad. I just know how it works. I know sadness, anger, stress, worry, the shit kills you. The shit slowly poisons your system, and I know that. And I don't want to do that to myself. So just like a car, like I know you could wreck, you have all the rights to wreck. Nobody's taking away your rights to hit a fucking tree. But what I'm saying is, if you know hitting a fucking tree makes your life harder because you lose your car, you lose your life, you goddamn it, you kill somebody else, all of that shit. If you know this, you're not driving on the road because you're against wrecking. You're just like, why the fuck would I? It's the same reason why you watching this video, but you ain't drinking a cup of bleach. Because right now, you don't see how a cup of bleach benefits you. But there's a motherfucker out there right now who's ready to end it all. And he's looking at that cup of bleach like, you know, I'm this close to thinking that that's a good idea. And the minute you think it's a good idea, it's easy to do. So that's what I'm saying. It's the same shit. Everything you do, you are convinced in some way that it's beneficial to you. That's everything that you do. I don't give a fuck what it is. So with that being said, that's how I look at it. I just don't see becoming angry as a benefit to me or my goals, my health, my life. I could do it, but why the fuck would I? Just like I could scratch my fucking face off with my nails, but why would I? Just because I can? Is it honorable? Am I less human? So, yeah. But when it comes to anger, bro, my point is essentially this. It's not about it's not about being against anger or being for joy all the time. It's about being conscious. It's about liberating yourself from yourself so you can give yourself the freedom to actually decide how you want to be at any moment in your life, rather than being mad because some shit happened, happy because some shit happened. I'm happy now because I cut my dick off, or I'm fucking angry. I'm sad now because my bitch left, or I'm mad now because somebody took some, or I'm happy now because somebody gave me some, or because I put some on. Rather than attaching your experience of life to all of this shit around you, which is never gonna stay the same. The world is never gonna respect you the way you want all the time. You're never gonna have all the things you want all the time. Things aren't always gonna go the way we want. So with that, why would you attach your experience to some shit that ain't gonna always go the way you want? That means how you feel isn't gonna always be the way you want. And goddamn, it's like the world to happen in a bunch of ways that we can't control. But damn, the one thing you can actually control down to the T, not only do you not believe you can, you don't want to believe it, and you don't even see it as a possibility, and you probably see it as a bad thing. But the point is, when you become conscious or even start taking steps in that area to happen the way you want, it doesn't matter. You, at the bare minimum, your life will be you living and dying joyfully. That is your whole fucking life. For you to live and die joyfully at the bare fucking minimum. We not talking about success and failure materially, money, cars, clothes, dreams, none of that. We talking about at the base level, you get to live and die joyfully because your joy and your anger was in your hands. You didn't have to go broke to get mad. You could get mad whenever the fuck you want because you gave yourself that. You didn't have to get rich to get happy because you can get happy whenever the fuck you want because you gave yourself that. With that level of freedom, how often would you be joyful? Bruh, all the fucking time. The whole reason you even get out the bed or lay in the bed, the whole reason that the human being who is alive even acts is for his fulfillment. Even the motherfucker that's depressed, that can't get out the bed but want to get out the bed, what the fuck are they doing? They're laying in the bed thinking about getting out the bed. Now they probably physically can't get themselves to do it, but they're still thinking it. Why are they thinking that? Because even in that small way, they feel like it's in their best interest. Everything you do in one way or another, either consciously, unconsciously, or subconsciously, you feel like it's in your best interest. If you did not feel like anything was in your best, even people who off they self, they do it because they feel like this is the way. This is the best thing I can do based off their perception and what they can see. You get what I'm saying? So there's not a single motherfucker that can convince me that if their joy and their anger or their emotions or experience of life was in their hands totally, not the fucking world, not a book, not the devil, not God, not the stars, in your fucking hands completely, that they would fucking be happy for 3 months and then wake up and get depressed, then be happy for 3 more months. You wouldn't put yourself through that shit willingly. You would be happy every day to the day you die. No matter what life takes you through, you'd go through the ups and downs with fucking joy. You chase your dreams with joy. You'd fail with joy. It would happen. That's exactly what the fuck it would be. So yeah, bro, I made the title of the video being happy is overrated because like it fucking is. Because human experience is overrated. Because people don't actually pay attention to the human system to know how human experience works. They let somebody else tell them how it works. You learned how to ride your fucking bike by paying attention. You learned how to drive a car by paying attention to your parents for 18 years. Then you took your driving test and you put your foot on the gas based off what you saw your parents do. You learned how to do everything you ever fucking got good at by paying attention. So why the fuck is the most important thing you own, which is your fucking body, which comes with a mind and emotions, why is this the one thing you have that you learned how to use by secondhand knowledge? You let a motherfucker tell you how the mind works. You let a book tell you how emotions work. Why the fuck you didn't sit your ass down for 3 hours a day for 6 fucking years and pay attention to this motherfucker yourself? Don't believe where the brakes at. Get your ass down there and put your foot on the fucking bitch and press that motherfucker and see if the car stops. Don't believe how the steering wheel works. Sit your ass in the driver's seat and grab the steering wheel and you turn that bitch and see what happened to the car. Don't believe nothing. Go through it. Experience it. Stop believing how the fuck emotions work. Stop believing how the mind works. Forget all that dumbass shit. Sit your ass down and go in here and pay attention to this bitch and you look for yourself and you will see how it works. You will see that there is no objective fucking way for it to go. You will see that it was always in your hands. You was always doing it to yourself. You just didn't know that. But once you know that and you see that, then you start actually learning how to be human because you start paying attention to the human, and then you realize a lot of dumb shit falls apart. A lot of shit. I mean a lot of shit, from rich people to poor people to fucking activists to racists. Almost every talking point that you will damn near hear on the internet from most people will start to sound like dumbass shit. But it's not because they're dumb people or nothing. It just, you really see the widespread of the ignorant. That shit's everywhere. I could have got on here and made a whole video telling myself, man, you gotta feel your feelings, man. I could have just went real generic with it. But you know, it's not my stilo, you feel me? But yeah, bro, I'm finna go, man. Eat all your biscuits and drink honey, nigga.
Go, he whipping the range truck. I never thought you changed your mood. Look what that fame do. Yeah, Phantom Rolls Royce. A nigga get sick of these toys. Call her John Wills Booth for Shilbo Brain while I'm in Snoop. They call me Ryan George Bush cause I be fly as fucking buildings. Bitch, my life Deion Sanders. Making chicken Colonel Sanders. Beat a nigga like